I'm so thankful you won the last box battle, because this episode's going to make me really want to drink garbage. What's up, guys? Joe, Decks and Drafts. I'm doing a little bit of a different video this time. I don't have anything to open. If you clicked on the link, you kind of know what you're in for. I'm going to talk a little bit about this bot thing with TCGPlayer and Flesh and Blood and what has been happening the last couple of days. And it's not going to talk just about that. And for those of you net runners out there who are saying, "Oh, you're just mad," that's not really what this video is going to do. That's not where I'm going with it. So kind of bear with me for a couple minutes. So I don't have street cred in card game investing or anything like that, but what I do have a lot of experience in is running promotions and leveraging marketing technology, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. That's what I want to introduce a little bit, maybe of a new idea, a new kind of line of thinking. So before we get into exactly what that is, I'm going to take the winner from the last box battle, the banana meringue tart that I was not too excited about, since this is kind of a little bit of garbage that we're talking about anyway, and it's going into well, the only glass that I can think of that would work, and that is rock bottom. Hopefully you can see that. It's got a little but whatever. So yeah, and I'm not saying that this is going to be a dismal video or anything like that. It's not going to be me complaining for 10 minutes at all. Hey buddy. But I want to share a little bit about kind of my thoughts on this, and I've had some conversations with people about just what goes on with shopping with bots and whatnot. So first things first, let's talk about the story. Actually, first things first. Nope. I am still not a fan of that. Still not a fan of that. I do like Wiley Roots out of Greeley, Colorado. That one's just really sweet and banana-y and not much else. Anyway, so here's the story. What happened with TCGPlayer? TCGPlayer puts out a promotion. Monarch First Edition, Flesh and Blood, new set, Monarch First Edition. Why do you care about this? Well, any First Edition for Flesh and Blood right now is in the hundreds of dollars. The Crucible Award, the most recent boxes, those are going for $750, $800 a box. Arcane Rising, Welcome to Wraith, the first sets, they're up near two to four. 4,000 for Welcome to Wraith, 2,000 for Arcane Rising. These are absolutely nuts. So TCGPlayer, big card gaming site, puts out a promotion that says, hey, not only are you getting a first edition box, but you're getting two promos, which if boxes are going for that much, imagine what the promos are going for. Two first edition two promos and a box for $110. Awesome. That's fantastic. We've seen enough gouging already. But calling it gouging, maybe that's a little unfair. But anyway, they put this promotion out there, and then they release it in small spurts, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, what happens? People clicked on it, and immediately, 15 seconds, you log in at 9 p.m., and then by 9 p.m. and 15 seconds, everything's gone. Everything is just, it's sold out. If it's in your cart, you're screwed. And that sucks. That sucks from a user experience. Now, you can speculate that, maybe people were just very, very fast, but there's been a lot of people who have come forward and flat out said, I used a shopping bot for this. I used a program, an API, something that said, I'm going to go through this experience right on the dot. We're going to do it over and over until I can get what I can. And then I don't even have to be there. I don't have to be in front of my computer. The bot's going to do this, and it's going to do this faster than anybody can physically click buttons. And that is the speculation. There's absolutely no actual proof of that. But like I said, people have come forward saying that's the thing. And when you have a large allocation that is gone in 15 seconds, it's a little weird, especially given that the shopping experience takes about 30 to 40. Ideally, unless you have absolutely everything set up and auto-filling, and there's a lot weird there. So the question came up, bots versus the user experience, the expected user experience here, because this happens with the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5. Is there a real problem that we need to address? And one of the things I wanted to ask in the discussion for the group is there a moral dilemma here? Is there an ethical dilemma with people who are using bots to buy first edition boxes over somebody who is trying to go through the normal experience? And the argument for this, the argument that says, hey, bots are fine is not a bad one. It's like, hey, if you can take advantage of the tech, If you can do this, as well as, you know, am I really any different than somebody who buys this normally and still plans on flipping the box? Like if I'm going to hoard these boxes, expect them to go to $1,000, is me using a bot to do this any different than the person who's going to do the same thing but actually click buttons? That's kind of a rough one. That's a hard conversation to have. On the flip side, and this is where I personally stand, I say as I down more of this crap. On the flip side, my view is that if you are willingly taking away the fairness of an experience by bypassing the user experience that was created on the site. So TCGPlayer created a microsite with a promotion on it, with a buy now button on it that you click on, you go through a shopping experience, you input information, and then you finish your order. If you are willingly creating a system that bypasses that entire experience of doing that and says, we're just going to have apps run that just immediately, as fast as humanly possible, so we can just deplete the stock as quick as we can. I feel like I feel like that's just wrong. I feel like if you are bypassing the technology, if you are manipulating the technology provided by a website, in order to try to have normal shoppers, any physical human person try to complete a purchase, you're not doing functioning as designed. This is I find it shady. I find it kind of just bad. I find it not morally bankrupt. That's a little too far, but I'm going to get into that for just a sec, or in just a sec. Now, one of the things when it comes to this is, of course, these are collectors. These first editions are collectors boxes. And I want to quickly talk about the misnomer that first edition is for collectors. First off, yes, they are. Sort of. The problem with saying it that way, though, and why you have people who are coming in and saying, this is for collectors, and collectors are going to have access to all this great technology. That's what part of the investment is. And honestly, I don't agree with that, because just as much as those first editions, yeah, they are for collectors, but saying that and not saying, but they're also for players, is kind of a crap thing to say. Here's a great example. I got a Bloodsheath Skeletic Cold Foil. This was the fourth pack I ever opened. Fifth pack. It was in the first 6 because I only opened 6. Now, I didn't go into this game to invest. I didn't. But this is cool to me. This, as even somebody who's playing a lot, I'm extra excited as a player to kind of have this. Like, this just like, man, I feel like I'm a part of something. Part of something big. To come at me and say, well, if you're a player, then why don't you just trade this for like an unlimited non-foil or not unlimited, but a non-foil version, and put this in the hands of somebody who really cares about it? That's kind of bullshit. That's kind of elitist crap that really, as somebody who is playing, who still likes the thrill of having something valuable and cool, well, not today, Satan. That's what I came up with it. I like this backing. So because of that, coming at this and saying, well, people who use bots, this is clearly an investor, a targeted for investors. So investors really should be able to have whatever they want. Tools at their disposal. Again, if you're going against the user experience that the company provided, I'm not really a fan of you. I can't say you did this correctly, or I should be ethically correctly, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys, about that. If you're still here, especially you netrunners, it's really difficult to hate the player, in this case, the bot guys, if the game sucks. If the game absolutely sucks. And this is really what I wanted to talk about, and really what I wanted to get into. And hopefully I won't take too much more of your time here. But if TCGPlayer has it on their site that it's a buy now and it's a shopping experience, and that's it, if that's all that they have done, because it's all that they did in actual mitigation, proactive pre-purchase mitigation, mind you, well, I can't put it on those people who are using shopping bots. I can't complain too much about them. I can't. I'm sorry. I can say, I think you did kind of a meh thing, but at the end of the day, it's like if you ran a race and I said, I'm going to race you to the end of the block, and that's all that I said, the person who's running is going to lose to the guy who got in their car. That's just what's going to happen. So if there are no rules that were specified, if there was no like, hey, we really need people to go through the experience, the site, the thing that we created, TCG Player, yeah, I can't complain at the people who hopped in the car and said, off we go. We're just gonna win this. I guess kind of too bad, right? So that gets into the question of foresight, and this is why I'm actually mad at TCG Player. I can't, it's stupid to be mad at TCG Player for putting something out for $110. That's amazing. I love that. Thank you so much. The fantastic Louis from Kitchen Table TCG. Please go subscribe to him. He's a wonderful guy. Has no problem saying, like, why are you complaining at TCG Player for putting out something for $110 to grow the game? I'm fully in agreement with that. But where I'd like to kind of spin this around a little bit is the execution can still suck. And if the execution's poor, I don't know how much good you have done. So the way that this has been put out, TCG Player recently put out a site that says, hey, we get that people are struggling with this, that they're trying really hard and they have it in their cart and it's immediately gone. And we're sorry. And what we're doing is we audit it every day. To make sure that it's not bots who got this, it's actual people. We check it after the damage has been done, is basically what they're saying. And all that does is just elongates the problem. Which, by the way, it's kind of why I wore the shirt, the I'll do it tomorrow. This is basically the TCG Player response to this, and I hope it's not terribly see-through. Is the I'll do it tomorrow. If I've got a bunch of bots that are taking over stock, or if I've got kind of shady shit technology manipulated to take over the stock, and I say I'm going to check it later, that just means I'm going to put it back in the stock. I'm going to put it back in the allocations, and it's just going to elongate how many offerings they do. And you might say, well, doesn't that help? It gives more people an opportunity. Well, not if you don't fix the bot problem. Not if it still goes by so fast that one in maybe 200-300 people can actually get their hands on one of these boxes, and then the rest are just allocated by programs. You haven't solved anything. And all that you really do is actually enhance those technologies, because if I don't have the time to be on the hook at for me it's 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for like the next 21 days, while they reallocate boxes that were clearly that were bought improperly. I can't do that. I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of effort, that kind of energy. And that's kind of unfair, because somebody who just has a program that says, I'm going to do this once, and I'm going to walk away, I'm going to take a nap. Neat. And honestly, I put that on TCG Player. I do. I feel like if I'm a company, again, and this is me not being a card seller, I'll own this part, but this is me being a marketer. I'm going to be a marketer for a sec. If I know that I have a massive item like Flesh and Blood First Edition, or hell, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, any fucking My Chemical Romance concert, because I don't know why, guys. I don't know why, honey, wife of mine. That was a whole day. But anyway, it's the same problem. If I know that I have this incredible thing that I'm about to unleash into the worldwide masses, I think we're at a point in the internet, I think it's old enough that we can have the foresight as sellers to know that this is going to get flooded with people who have no intention of attending the event, that with technologies that are able to bypass our various systems, and just buy in bulk as much as the system allows me to do. All this one box per household shit, that doesn't mean anything either. I can have multiple PO boxes. I can go to my friends. I can go to 6, 10, 12, 20 people. Hey, take the shopping box and load this in, and I'll reimburse you. Like all that stuff is how you bypass the one box per household argument, and any limit from any website. Honestly. If I know I have those things, if I know I run the risk of that for something that is so high in demand, why is there no foresight? Why do we just hope, cross our fingers that this doesn't go bad? Why not plan in advance? And say, we're expecting this kind of reaction, this kind of response, this kind of traffic. Can we mitigate this in some way? And the answer that I'm going to propose is fuck yes, you can. And it's not just with CAPTCHA. So I'm a marketer. I've worked in marketing technology for a while. I know what's at its disposal. First rule of marketing data, by the way, like this is cool. This is cool. Like, you know, Katsu, super neat. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you can see this. All you are is a number. That's it. In MarTech, all you are is a number. First rule of marketing data. If you treat somebody like a person, you're not going to get very far. Fun fact. And the reason that this matters is if I can leverage technology to kind of run numbers, to really just work with what's at my disposal as a promoter, not even as a seller, because that's not what I'm doing here. I'm promoting at this point. I'm promoting a sale. That if I look at it that way, I've got different options at my disposal, and I can leverage data to do that. So how do you solve this? How would you solve the bot problem? Now, first thing, one, CAPTCHAs are always great. CAPTCHAs are those check boxes. They're those stupid activities of pick all the streetlights, all that stuff that basically says, hey, an algorithm is not really going to be able to figure this out. Somebody actually has to be in front of a machine clicking on things. Ideally, that's the user experience we want to create. We need to prove that an actual human being is pushing things to continue on. An app that's trying to run as quick as possible, they can't do that. So CAPTCHA is one way to go. There have been ways to kind of manipulate the CAPTCHAs, though, and you know, you're still running the risk of tech. Even then, my other proposal doesn't mean much. The second thought that I have, if I were to be TCGPlayer right now with the rest of these allocations, if we were to do this again, I'd run a lottery. Honestly, I'd run a lottery. That's the way that I would do it. I would say, hey guys, at such and such time, we're pulling 100 names of people who have clicked on a link and signed up for a thing, signed up for basically a lottery. We'll call it the Monarch Lottery. And we're going to send out a unique code to those individuals if you provide contact information, and then those individuals are going to get to buy things. A couple things this does. I don't know why I said 2. This is probably going to do more than 2. First thing, it doesn't have the time I asked to 9 p.m., 9 a.m. It doesn't have to do any of that crap. It doesn't overload my servers at that exact moment. I don't have to deal with people lagging, and then 15 seconds later, everything's out of stock for those very lucky people who just happen to click refresh at the right nanosecond to make this go their way. The second thing that this ultimately does, though, is before you say, well, how does this solve... how does a lottery ultimately solve anything? Well, that gets into numbers again. That gets into you are a number, as opposed to you are a person clicking a buy now button, or you are a program clicking a buy now button. If I have a marketing app, which I would hope that TCGPlayer does, most companies that send you receipts, order confirmations, any sort of marketing materials, they have things like maybe HubSpot, MailChimp, Braze, I'm just going to use the company I work for. Braze, Constant Contact, Salesforce. There are a lot of tools out there, and it's not very difficult to just come up with a subscription button that you click on. It's a pre-made form that clicks on, and everybody who clicks on it goes into the Monarch Lottery list, and then you can run queries on it. You can say send randomly. In the case of marketing technology, you can do like random samples, basically. Give me a random sample of 200 people from this list of, 200,000, 300,000. God, I hope that's not the ratio. But, from this incredible list of people, give me this number, which serves as the allocation I want to give at this time for this. And we're going to send them an email with a uniquely coded link in it that could very well be tied to that number of theirs if we want. And that stops us from having some app just say, oh, I have access to this. I'm gonna do this a million frickin' times and see how many times that I can get all the way through the process. Marketing technology can do this. Naturally, there's the workaround of, well, Why don't I have just a billion email addresses? I just load up with email addresses, and I can click on a link, and if I get an email for something, I click on that link and go through a process. Well, there's ways around that one too, with data and uniqueness of that customer data that you're bringing in, maybe in the preference center form of, hey, you want to sign up for this box, give us contact information, and then click on something that's random. Click on, or type something that can't be auto-generated. Like type me your favorite hero. That'd be an interesting one, right? Give me your favorite hero in the box, and then all those basic shopping bots. Well, you suddenly have to know a little bit about what the hell you're doing in order to recode a bot that says you're going to type in a hero into a box. I will admit that I do not know shopping bot technology, so take that one with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I think that also exemplifies a problem. I'm in marketing and I'm in employee training as well. I don't feel like if I want to have a fair shot at hitting a buy now button and getting the product that I want to try to buy, that it means I need to have API knowledge or any sort of coding knowledge. I think that's crap. I think that's just not a good user experience. But anyway, yeah, I mean, leverage technology. Leverage marketing technology. Have a little bit of foresight, all of you guys out there, you TCG players, you Star City. I don't know how the hell Star City is still sticking around with their orders. Something bad is going to happen with that. But the next time you do this with the next set, TCG player, please consider something like a lottery. Please consider something where it is not just click a button and then hope that the experience works. Leverage foresight, leverage the information that you can get from people in order to actually make this the experience that you wanted. Don't come at us and say, we're going to audit information afterwards, and then just elongate the problem and make it so I have to get up at 7 in the morning every day if I want a 5-second chance at getting a box at a rate that you want. If you want to do good, you have to acknowledge that there's going to be ways to take advantage of it. Even my little attempt at a solution, yeah, there's probably going to be ways around it, but it's going to be a hell of a lot harder. There's going to be a hell of a lot more work involved in that. And even at the end of the day, when the information comes into me, the marketer, I can look and I can see things like timestamps. There are ways that I can focus in on the information to say there is no way these certain things are correct. There's no way these accounts are correct, and I could probably do it with some sort of query and easily in the free technologies or big technologies. I would hope that these companies are using bigger technologies where they can run some actual data. But yeah, marketing technology can solve this problem. You just got to treat it like a marketer. You got to treat the data. You got to treat people like their data for a little bit, and come up with a solution that focuses in on that. And I think you're not gonna see that many bot problems again. You're not gonna have this garbage. For you bot guys out there, if the game is in that favor, I don't like you for doing it, but I can't complain too much, honestly, because really this is not your fault, and it's not your problem, and the door was left wide open for you to take advantage. I'm not asking you to do so, but I can't say that you're just the bad guy to everything for making it happen. So anyway, that's my little rant. I still have too much of this to go. Oof. Nope, I'm not chugging that. But anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you feel? What do you feel about either my solution, or let's ask the actual question. Do you feel that there is an ethical dilemma in somebody using a shopping bot when it's very likely that the thing that they are buying, and when bought by a normal person, is just going to be flipped the same way that the bot buyer is going to flip it? Like, really? Is there an ethical dilemma there? Now the very inappropriate burps are coming because I did that. So I'm sorry. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Of course, like, subscribe. I'm going to do more boxes as well. I got my hands on a couple Monarch. I'm not going to lie to you. I plan on flipping one or two of them. We're saving up for babies next year. I'm going to need that money, honey. But I'm going to be opening a bunch as well. I hope to do more box openings. I've got a great conversation coming on Final Fantasy and the how do you deal with these promo decks? What do you do with promo decks? They're not starters. They're not world champion decks. They're just this weird thing in the middle. I'm excited to talk more about that. couple more box openings to go. But anyway, cracked in just under 25 minutes. I'm still long on these videos. I do apologize for that. I will get better as we go along. But yeah, that's my thinking. Anyway, thank you so much. And yeah, I will catch you next time.